Good day, everyone. This video presentation is on Malala Yousafzai. I would like to introduce my group members, Thierry Griot, Isaiah James, Siobhan Murphy, Keontae Charles, Dave Malton, and myself, Tiffany Papunet. I will start with a brief summary of Malala's background. Malala Yousafzai is a Pakistani education advocate who was born on July 12, 1997 in Mingora, Pakistan. For the first few years of her life, Malala's hometown remained a popular tourist spot that was known for its summer festivals. However, the area began to change as the Taliban tried to take control. On October 9, 2012, a gunman shot Malala when she was traveling home from school. She survived and has continued to speak out on the importance of education. In 2013, she gave a speech to the United Nations and published her first book, I Am Malala. That same year, Malala and her father launched the Malala Fund, which works to ensure girls around the world have access to 12 years of free, safe, and quality education. At the age of 17 in 2014, she became the youngest person to win the Nobel Peace Prize after surviving the assassination attempt by the Taliban. For her 18th birthday in July 2015, Malala continued to take action on global education by opening a school for the Syrian refugee girls in Lebanon. Today, she continues to support young girls all over the world.
Pakistan, a populous and multi-ethnic country of South Asia, has a predominantly Indo-Iranian speaking population. Pakistan has historically and culturally been associated with its neighbors, Iran, India, and Afghanistan. The nation is an Islamic state and has struggled from independence to present to attain political stability and sustain social development. Pakistan was brought into being at the time of the partition of British India in response to the demand of Islamic nationalists. Politically and culturally, the country has struggled to define itself. The nation is established as a parliamentary democracy that has secular ideas. The country has experienced repeated military coups, that is to say, adhere to the value of Sunni Islam, has increasingly become a standard by which political leaders are measured. In northern Pakistan, mostly the federal administrative tribal areas have become a haven for members of neighboring Afghanistan, outstated Taliban regime, and for other Islamic extremist groups. In various parts of the country, instances of ethnic, religious, and social conflict have played out from time to time. Yet, its culture is diverse, having Indian, Afghan, Central Asia, South Asia, and Western Asian influences. The Islamic faith is its biggest influence.
So when looking at Malala, we can see that she has a few challenges, both internal and external, that she has faced. And in these challenges, it was seen that some of her internal challenges were as a result of the external challenges that she faced. So some of the external challenges would include the technology available to her, the culture, or more so the culture of the Taliban, or the enforced culture on the area that she lived in. And the fear of death was also an internal challenge that was as a result of the war and the killing of people who advocated for educating children. From these external challenges, we could see that Malala would have had to be extremely focused on what she wanted to do. So even in the time that she lived in, she would still have to remain extremely focused on what she wanted to do and in her pursuit of her education, whether it was her becoming a doctor in the beginning or a politician, which she later decided to become.
For some of the 9/10 of Malala's measurements, her ability to take a stand. She was raised in a household where her parents valued education, but the Taliban in their region started to close down schools because they didn't want many children to get education, especially for young girls. So they started bombing and all sorts of stuff. So at that point in time, when she was 11 years old, she took the stand and she continued to go to school because she wanted to be an influencer in the sense to make other people come and make a stand, to ensure that other people on other children could get education. Also, she's very dedicated. After she got asylum, she practiced a lot telling her story to win the support from people. And also, she's very transparent. She doesn't pretend that she's the greatest world authority on education. She understands that to persuade people, she needs to let them see who she really is, although she's always an advocate for what she believes in. She uses her charm to disarm people, to make them actually see what she went through and what other young girls her age is actually going through. And she is also a very good listener, as just the school she opened in Syria, she went and she visited the girls and she asked them, what do you need? What do you want? What do you want to become in life? Instead of making choices for them and letting them know, well, all right, I'm going to do this for you. She asked they what they want, and they said as how they were forced to move away from their home, they have no access to education. So she went back to her group and she got funds and she made campaigns and stuff, and she opened a school for girls in that region to go to school. And also, she's a very focused individual. She always practices her speeches, and she is very self-aware. The fact that she does not misdirect her energy, and instead she channels her passion into what really matters, as she doesn't do this for fame or for any self-indulgent purposes. She does this to ensure the betterment or try to create a better place for children who are going through the same thing she went through.
So Malala has a clear vision, which is one of the key attributes. She has a goal for herself and young people around the world. And in achieving that goal, she set up a Malala Fund, where the different stories of young people was brought to light, and funds were distributed to different places around the world where young people could have the access to education. And in her home country of Pakistan, through the speech that she had at the United Nations Assembly, there was a petition started, and that led to the Pakistani government passing a Right to Education Bill in 2012, which guarantees that all children from the age of 5 to 16 have free access of education, and the parents who refuse to send the children to school, or people who hire the children to work, can be imprisoned under this legislation. Also, through her steadfastness and the courage she displayed after she got shot, I don't think anybody will. There's a kind of tough situation to come back from, and after she recovered, she still wanted to fulfill that vision she had. So she encouraged young people, like asked them, as Keontae said, she asked them, she wants to know what they want, and she gave young people a voice amongst the education leaders around the world.
Today, I'm here to show you on why we picked Malala as our leader. Firstly, I believe we chose her because of the fact that she's within our age and have done so much with her life, having gone through so much suffering. She showed great independence and self-understanding. She chooses a path for herself and isn't afraid to take a stand and fight for her motive. To think she came out of a city of war and criticism at such a young age and still able to watch the presidents of America and Africa and tell them what they have been doing wrong, and they are genuinely listening, making changes, and in turn promoting the cause. Yes, Malala is self-made and she needs no applaud for who she is, because we all know her impact on the world, especially Nigeria and her hometown in Pakistan. Being able to help children and have an education. Not unlike most leaders, she herself is an inspiration. Most leaders talk about how they can help and how people are suffering and what they can do for you. She promotes self-work, where you do for yourself and make your own path. Any leader like that shows you what power isn't what people follow. People follow leaders like Gandhi and Nelson as they suffered before they can make a change, because people can relate and say we are equals. And if you believe this is possible, I can believe it too. This is the same for Malala, because she suffered a great amount, not only being a young woman who was deprived from their education and able to go to school and pay as Taliban attacked and deprived the education. Even after her recovery, sense of morals and motives were unchanged. As we all know, what's inside they can't take, because it's our choices that make us. And she chose to continue fighting on behalf of us, even though a lot of people in her home still believe she should not be given the publicity, and what she's doing and saying is what her father wants. But surely no one can fake the emotion she showed when publicly speaking, and what shows is the 90% we should model ourselves towards. Malala said in one of her interviews about the fight against the Taliban, they think education is a threat because education gives us the right to question things. This is food for thought as it changes man rule over woman. if they are given education in Pakistan. Malala didn't speak much of her mother, but Malala's mother was not educated. But she did say one thing, a verse from the Quran. Truth has to come and falsehood has to die. This is where I'll leave and conclude our discussion about Malala. Thank you for listening, and we hope you all enjoyed.
So how has the study of this selected leader impact everyone?
This leader has impacted me because of her bravery of continuing pursuing the dream in education, meaning like to help others be educated after being shot, doing that. It have people who was against to believe. And that is what impacted me because she believed what she's doing is right and she won't let anything stop her from doing that.
What impacted me when I read about the story was this perspective it gave, because even in with the current situation that's going on, I find it hard to focus on schools. So in that she was in the middle of basically war, where she didn't have the freedom to do or to learn or to study as she wanted. But I can see that situation being very difficult, and seeing how difficult that situation could be, it makes my current situation less taxing or less stressful, so to speak.
What I'll say that I admired or what impacted me about her story was the one of the choices she made, the choice which she made after attempted assassination. Her family got asylum. So at that point, she could have decided to, all right, I could go ahead and achieve my dreams across in this safe place. And, and I could kind of forget about what's going on home because I'm in a better place. I'm safe. My family's safe. I don't really have to worry about anything again. But she took that. She didn't make the easy choice. I'll say she made the hard choice. She went out and she continued to speak up, to make the world aware of what was going on and try to make a change, to help influence a change in our hometown. That was that impacted me a lot.
Malala had a very great impact on me because what she did and is still doing for young girls around the world today is very inspiring and courageous, because it takes a person with strong will to do what she has done. If there is a leader that I can look up to, it is Malala. Malala's words and actions offer inspiration and a hope to people all over the world.
What impacted me most about Malala was the fact that after getting shot, she still had the vision, for steadfastness, and the courage she had before, but when she was still in Pakistan, where the Taliban, they threaten the young people and they threaten her family, but she still decided to walk to school and go to school because she had that clear vision for herself and the country. So the courage and steadfastness is what really that impacted me the most about Malala.
What impacted me most about Malala is that at such a young age, she was rewarded the Nobel Peace Prize. She showed us that even though we may be young and uneducated, once we have a good cause and a good thirst for knowledge, we can make it. We could have a future. And what she's doing to give everybody this chance is very motivational and very inspiring.